Well, hello everybody. It's Saturday night. We're doing it a little early tonight. Um, but anyway, thank you. This is the Project 8 podcast with your host, me, Steve Mann. Uh, you want to follow us? You can follow us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, Rundle, Buzzsprout, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Hey, and I put in a new QR code up at the top. That is to my Buzzsprout account. To if you would like to donate, support the show, would really appreciate it. With having your podcast, you have some up and coming expenses and whatnot. So I'd greatly appreciate if you could donate, support the show. If you don't want to do that, just give me a like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Yeah. So anyway, here's a couple of things that um, I want to get into tonight. Um, One of them is uh, we got an up and coming election, and no surprise, we have a what? Oh, we got a pandemic sprouting again. I don't know about y'all. You call me conspiracy theorist, you call me whatever, you call me crazy. I don't care, just as long as you call me. So anyway, what I was gonna say is, this is starting to feel like 2020 all over again. Um, just saying. And I tell you what, I'm not complying this time. I'm not getting any more any of these things. I'm not wearing a face diaper. I'm not doing it. Um, we're gonna see we're gonna separate the strong from the weak this go around. So, and the other one I want to get into is the World Economic Forum. I don't know what's going on with these clowns over there, Klaus Schwab and all them, but now they want to euthanize cats and dogs to uh, lower the CO2 emissions uh, in the world. I mean, they're wanting to do cattle, chickens, all of our food source, that we use as far as meat products. They want to give it because they produce so much gas, um, which I think is totally incorrect because this whole climate thing is a scam. I mean, this is going all the way back to the 50s. I'm not kidding. Do your research, man. I did. I've seen a lot of documentaries on this as far as the the big plan. Um, there's one out there called something the apocalypse. Um, I think it's called climate change, the new apocalypse, something like that. It's like a 4 hour long uh step by step the plan how the UN is supposed to step in, disarm us, and do all this crazy stuff. Over all in the name of, excuse me, all in the name of climate change. This Green New Deal is a joke. It's costing us money. I mean, it's a scam. It's a scam just like the scamdemic. And since I'm on YouTube right now, since I'm on Facebook, I'll probably get banned. I hope not. Um, but if it happens, it happens. You can find me on Rumble. Okay. So um anyway, but I mean it's a total scam. Um Rumor has it that's why they got rid of JFK. Um so that's what I heard. Or that's what I mean, that's my understanding of it. And again, everything that I post on here or say in my podcast is of my opinion and my opinion alone. say nobody else's. So, but folks, we got to wake up. Well, I mean, they're spending our money, and it ain't going to us. It's going to Ukraine. It's going to um, these illegal immigrants that just flooded the United States. You know, if you want to come here legally, I don't have a problem with that. But when you cross the border and you traffic across the border and you sell drugs across the border, then start having a problem with it. Okay. So, you know, they're spending our taxpayer monies to fund all these programs, fund the Cold War in Ukraine. Enough's enough. They're not representing America anymore. They're representing special interest in the elites. Big pharma, big tech, uh, big financial district. I mean, they even BlackRock has even been said that the war in Ukraine is good for business, and that they want to go over there and help them rebuild. So that's what's going on with our taxpayer dollars. You're not being representative. They want you to keep working so they can take the tax and so they can spend it. When are you people going to wake up? When? Because now's the time. When you go to vote, and that's another thing I've been hearing too, um, that they're going to try to keep invoke uh, the war amendment. That way, the Democrats can stay in power. That there won't be an election because there would be a war against Russia and the United States. God, I hope not. I tell you what, if this thing goes nuclear, nobody wins. Nobody wins. Russia doesn't win. We don't win. It's a zero-sum game, folks. Okay? So we need to pull out of Ukraine and get out of there. Okay? First and foremost. We don't need to be supporting them no more. We've already done hold their hand enough. Let them take it from here. I'm serious. I'm serious. It's bullshit. It really is. And it drives me crazy. There's veterans sleeping on the streets all over the country, but yet we're spending money to Ukraine. There, um, Lahaina was devastated, and they're giving them $700 uh, per family or per family member, or I'm not even sure anymore. I lost track of that, um, or I forget what they were saying about that, but it's $700. They you know that's part of the United States over there. Hawaii is part of the United States, and that place is devastated. So stop the funding you to Ukraine and put the money over there in Hawaii, so them people can rebuild and get on with their lives. They've already lost so much. They've lost their homes. They've lost their loved ones. Enough's enough, man. So anyway, back to the election and COVID-19. So we have an election come up. Remember 2020? COVID was rampant. By 2021, you know, everybody had the absentee ballots, mail-in ballots. It's coming again, folks. It's coming again. The mandates are coming down. It's coming. They're saying by December we may have another shutdown. This country will not survive another shutdown. There's already people um, hurting for employees right now to run their business. I said it last week. Uh, we went to the Olive Garden and there was a lot of tables open. 30-minute wait. 30-minute wait with tables open. So anyway, take it for what it's worth. I sure I'm trying to help wake up a lot of you folks out there that are on the fence. the Democrats ain't doing you no favors. None at all. They're taking from you. They said, "Oh, we're for the minority and the unions." No, they're not. No, they're not. They're for big business, big tech, censorship, disarming Americans, giving criminals guns. Why is it that all of a sudden in these left-leaning states they have a no bail, and then they keep raising the felony? I think what is it now? $1,200. Anything under 1,200 is a misdemeanor. They're promoting it, folks. These people are going in these stores, stealing whatever they can, and then going and selling it. I don't know if they're selling it on eBay. I don't know if they're selling it on Amazon, but they're selling it. And they're hurting those businesses. They think they're flush with money. No, I mean, we're practically on a recession. And excuse me. And if you ask me, I mean, I'm not no financial expert, but I know what a recession feels like, and boy, this feels like a recession. I've been through enough of them in my lifetime. I remember. I know the word. My dad was a small business owner, and when he said recession, well, things got tight. We didn't go out to eat as much. We ate at home uh, until things got better. We cooked our own food. We had ducks, chickens, and all that good stuff for eggs and whatnot. But I'm telling you, we're in a recession. So we need a game plan, and we need to come up with something so we can survive this upcoming election that I've been hearing different stories about, invoking the war article. That way the Democrats can stay in power. It comes down to you and us, man, or you and me, the citizens of the United States. If you hold the constitutional or the Constitution dear to your heart like I do, then you need to stand up. Let your voice be heard, because it's not going to get better until we make it better. And I'm not talking with violence. I'm talking about with the vote at the ballot box. We need to vote these people out. Same way. Same with not just the presidential election. I'm talking across the board, brother. Across the board. If they ain't doing a job, like if they ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, primary them. If they're not in the best interest of the United States or its citizens, primary them. Get them out. I will be glad to hear what a new candidate would have to say for House, Senate, whatever. I would gladly sit down with them and say, what can you do to change the situation that we're in right now? Tell us. And we're going to hold you to it, because it ain't going to be this washy-washy stuff. So we need to figure it out. We have the power, and it may not seem like we have the power, but we do. The federal government does not own its citizens. We are free. We are free to vote in our best interest. And if you want to remain free, that's what you have to do. Forget these 15-minute cities. They should be rejected right off the bat. I mean it. For one, if you've seen the way they're built, they're a death trap. What if a earthquake came along? That buildings come tumbling down. Or what if we have a situation like 9/11? I hope not. But what if? Those things, no. No. So what they're going to do with the help of the economic world or the World Economic Forum is put you in those 15-minute cities, make you work. You can't go anywhere. Put you on the ESG score. That way you stay in line and listen, and you can move around your district. And speaking of districts, you know what that reminds me of? Hunger Games. Yeah, yeah. You know how they redistrict everything? Yeah. If we don't change it, that's the way we're gonna have it. We're gonna be living in districts in 15-minute cities. The World Economic Forum told us that we're not gonna own anything and you're gonna be happy. What do you think BlackRock's buying up all this real estate for? Because they're gonna rent it to you because you're not gonna own it. And this is the right time to do it because interest rates are so high. Nobody wants to get a loan on a home at what is it, 7.25%? No way, man. No way. 7.25? No way. That's that's ridiculous. And if you are buying a home at that price, then you're probably getting a hell of a deal for it. Folks, we need to change, and we need to change fast. We need to start being represented. We we have the power, and we need to take that power back away from the big government. The 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 solution is not more government. The solution is less government and let us make our own decisions and quit relying on the federal government to tell you what to do. If you need a government to tell you what to do, you might want to go to China. You might want to go to the UK because they have freedom. They just don't have it freedom like us. Okay. There's a lot of countries out there with freedom. Australia's free. I don't know if you've seen it. Speaking of Australia, they got some weird road things coming up. Signs with the signs are chained. Excuse me. The signs are chained, and the pavement on the highway is like red. And they're like, and there's this gentleman on there saying, "What are they doing? What is this for? Why do they have this chained?" Excuse me. Pardon me. So it sounds like Australia's getting ready to do something or have some sort of lockdown or something like that. Hey, speaking, excuse me. Hey, you like my goatee? Yeah, I'm trying to grow the Fetterman, the John Fetterman. I'm gonna have it down here. Get a hoodie, walk around, blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. So how that guy got elected, oh my gosh, is beyond me. Yeah, they Pennsylvania got a senator that's worse than Obama. Seriously. But anyway, I mean not Obama, Biden. I'm sorry, Biden. Been a long day. Been a long day, folks. I wanted to get on because it's Saturday night, and every Saturday night, who do you have? You have Steve Mann. So anyway, so we're going to talk about the World Economic Forum now. So not only do they want to get rid of the cattle and livestock, now they want to kill your cats and dogs. Okay. Because they're creating too much CO2 gases. And I've said this in one of my other podcasts. We need the CO2 gases to feed the trees. The trees take that in. Do the science, people. Do the science. Okay, everybody's like, "Oh, listen to the science. Respect the science." Well, the science says trees need CO2 to to feed off of. Then it releases oxygen, okay? So the animals have been here for ages and ages and ages. It's not that. I mean, look at the 1800s, look at the 1900s where cattle I mean, cattle was all over the place. There was wild cows, wild bulls, there was wild horses, wild pigs. There's still wild pigs and cows around here today. There's scarce, but anyway, it's not that. It's not the animals. It's not the cats and dogs. It's just this scam that they're trying to sell you. That, "Oh my gosh, the world's gonna end, the world's gonna end. Be global warming." No, look, man, and let me tell you something too. It's this summer that we just had, it's been that hot before. It's been that hot, it's been that humid. I live in the Midwest, and I tell you what, it was really humid and it was really hot, okay? But we got through it. Now I think now the high is like 83 degrees today. I mean, it it's in cycles, and if you really wanna think about it, this is the El Nino year where stuff is unpredictable as it is, right? It's very unpredictable. El Nino, and I've heard that's that system name all my life, okay? Stuff happens when the season of El Nino is in play. You might have a cold or I'm sorry, a cooler summer. You might have a hotter summer, depending on which way the jet stream changes, okay, and brings that cold air down from the north, or move the hot air up, whatever. Okay, do your research. Don't be letting these clowns tell you what's up. Okay, you know what's up. This whole pandemic thing is a scam. I think that when Trump was in office, they had stats of 0.1% of people that of fatalities. I think it was that or 0.5%. I have to do my research on that to remind myself of the facts on that. I'm not I'm not I'm not preaching propaganda here. I'm not trying to sell you hopium. Um, but something don't smell right with this pandemic coming back again. And they're supposed with this new variant from Canada. Okay. So I want to know how it got out of Canada. I know we travel in that. I know that. They travel here, we travel there. But isn't it kind of suspicious? Canada? Do you think they're doing gain of function and they created another strain? I don't know. Sounds a little fishy to me. But anyway, um, so yeah, this whole green scare, pandemic scare, when are y'all gonna have enough and just do what you want to do? Vote these people out. And who's Klaus Schwab to tell us what to do? Did you see the article where Bill Gates wants to chop down 700 million trees to help the climate change? Well, I think Bill Gates skipped science class. Again, CO2 emissions, the trees need it. And if you notice, the trees are greener, have been greener in the recent years than they have been in the last 20. That's because they're flourishing with the CO2 that's currently in the air. Our CO2 levels are actually down by the real scientists that put those stats out there. Look it up. Look up what the emissions is today, okay? I mean, I would have those numbers for you, but I just got on. I didn't have any material. I just got on and I just wanted to talk about the World Economic Forum with the killing of the cats and dogs and talk about this new pandemic or pandemic 2. And if you notice that Joe Biden said we were going to have another pandemic. Remember that? Remember that in 2001? Well, when we have the second pandemic, hmm, okay. So I'm gonna go on another rant here real quick because it bothers me. Okay. Let me take a drink here. There's some folks out there, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but they've been selling hopium. That's hopium since 2020. Excuse me. Hold on. Woo, wowzer. They've been selling hopium since 2020, saying how this is going to happen like this is going to be like this, we're going to implement this. My guy knows something is going to happen. And every holiday after that is like, hold on to your seats, go to the grocery store, stock up because it's going to happen. And it never does. Well, my source tells me, and he's pretty credible source. Well, if he's a credible source, I'd get a new one because the shit never happened. Okay. And I'm tired of seeing it. And you know who you are. You people know who you are. It's a joke. Okay. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get people hopped up on hope and making a dollar to do it. I'm serious. That's gotta stop. You know who you are. You all run in the same pack. I used to be a fan of their show. That's why I started my own podcast because I wanted to be truthful. I don't want to sell you hopium. I spent so much money at the grocery store and threw away a lot of money trying to be prepared for these holiday weekends. I mean, I'm prepared to a fact that if something happens, I'm going to have food for 2 weeks until we get some shit straightened out. So, but stop selling them. You ain't doing nobody any good. You're just getting people's hopes up that something's going to change. And we all know that Donald Trump can change it. Okay, because he's the only one that has the balls to go up against these people. Mike Pence should just drop out right now. He's not going to win the nomination. He's not going to. He's not. He's not going to win the nomination. Chris Christie, he needs to drop out because he's not going to win the nomination. Okay, we need to vote because Donald Trump. This is the reason. Donald Trump's numbers are up so high right now that if we had the primary tomorrow, he would win the nomination because the American people that voted for him, the American people would vote him to be the nomination, not some backroom, our NRC. No, it'd be the American people. Okay, because we want that 4 years. We want it today like it was during the Trump administration. Then during those 4 years, we'll think of somebody else. But you got to have the balls to go up against these people and change the way America is ran. Okay? America needs to be first. We don't need to be policing the world. We can help our allies. But anytime we help our allies, we need to be paid back. If it's a monetary thing, they need to pay us back. If it's an oil thing, we can sell them the oil. We can be energy uh independent, not energy dependent. So folks, the world these world economic forums, yeah, I said it, Satanists want to change the world fundamentally, okay? To where they control every aspect of your life. I encourage you to see uh, Children of Men, if you care to take a look at that. I'm not going to tell you what, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you know, take a look at Hunger Games. You want to see what's up? Take a look at Hunger Games. Not that we're going to be sending people to kill each other, but if we split into districts, they're going to have every control of your life, and you're going to have to eat the rations they send you. You won't be able to hunt wild game because you won't have no rifle to do it. Well, you gonna make a bow and arrow? Well, you could. I mean, you could, but still in all, we're living in a time. We're living in a peril time. We're living in a dangerous time for our future. We own our future. The American people have a voice. Use it, please. When if you don't like Donald Trump because he's too mean, he does mean tweets. That's something an immature person says. Okay? Orange man bad. No, orange man not bad. Orange bad not orange man not bad. Okay? He is sent he was elected and he told us everything he was going to do and he did it. Now they know it and they're afraid of him. That's why they keep pushing all these charges on him because they're scared. They're going to get found out. And if you really want to, and let me tell you something, this is dangerous time. They should drop all the charges against him right now because here's the game plan. Okay, when a next election comes up and somebody's election denier, they can get arrested, charged because they didn't like the outcome of the election. Folks, I mean, I don't know how many times I can tell you. We're living in dangerous times right now. And when you're out and about, be kind to one another, okay? Be kind. There is somebody out there struggling with a situation that you don't know about. Have some patience. Don't be quick to judge. We're all Americans. There's no A team and B team. We're all Americans. There's really no red and blue. We just have different ideas. But at the end of the day, we're all Americans and we need to be kind to one another. We need to help each other. Remember back in the day where if you were on the side of the road with a flat tire or your car was overheating or something, somebody would pull over and see if you and check in on you, see if you're all right or if you needed a hand. That shit don't happen anymore. If you're on the side of the road, people just pass you by. They do because they're like, "Oh, that's not my problem. Oh, that sucks." But what sucks is you didn't stop and check on that person, see if they were okay. Or maybe they need a hand. Maybe it's a single mom with 10 kids in the minivan. Got a flat tire. She's afraid to get out of the car. Yeah, we got roadside assistance and all that shit. But what if they didn't have to stay there for an hour for or 2 hours for roadside assistance to show up and you could have done something? Come on, man. We all need to man up. We need to man up against the World Economic Forum. We need to man up against the climate change agenda. We need to man up and not go through this second pandemic again and comply by putting getting another one of these or putting a face diaper back on. Do not comply with that. Do not. The more of us that stand up, the less they can do to push back. They can push back on one of us, but they can't push back on a million of us. You understand? No is no. If I walk into a gas station or a pharmacy or something and say, "Oh, you can't come in here because you don't have a mask on," I'm coming in, I'm doing my shopping, I'm doing what I want. You want to call the police because I don't have a face diaper on? That's your fucking problem, okay? Yeah, I said it. I cussed because I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed in the direction of the way this country's going. I'm pissed that my children have to see it and my grandchildren. I mean, come on, man. Get let's get it together. We got to push back on all these guys. All of them. Enough's enough. You remember that movie Enough where Jennifer Lopez, I think it was Jennifer Lopez, she's getting the shit knocked out of her by her husband all the time. Well, then she moves and takes classes, and at the end of the movie, I'm not trying to spoil it, but she whoops his ass. Uh, that I can remember. So, or I'll put another scenario on it. The American people is a dog, and the federal government is the pet owner. And he's kicked, walk, walking through the door, kicks the shit out of us. We cower back in the corner, scared, shaken, don't know what to do. And then one day, he kicks the dog one too many times, and that dog just unleashes and goes full blown Cujo, right? Right? So we can only take so much of this shit. So please, let's, I'm not saying just vote for Donald Trump. Just don't let the Democrats win this time again. Can you, let me, let me ask you an honest question. Okay. Can you go, anybody in the country right now, can you go another 4 years financially on the path that we're going on right now? Can you? I can't. My family can't. Other members of my family that have their own houses and families, they can't either. So we need to vote these clowns out and get somebody in there that puts America first. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm pissed. I'm pissed this the way this country is going. And it seems like, oh, nobody cares. Just as long as they get theirs. What have you done for me lately? It's not about that, man. Not about that at all. It's not what they can do for you. It's what you can do for the country. And if we don't do something, we're not going to have a country. We're going to have a dictatorship. We're going to have socialism. We're going to have social credit scores. And shit just went upside down. And you're going to wonder, How did we get here? How did we get here? I tell you, you got here by woke individuals that said, "Oh, I have feelings. Let's all think about it as feelings." No, let's think about it with our heads. God gave us a brain, damn it, and we have to use it. We we can't just go by our feelings. Our feelings. So I don't know how else to wake anybody up, but just tell you how I feel. And this is how I feel. What I've told you during all my other sh- episodes, this is how I feel. We don't need new we don't need bigger government. We need less government. We don't need the World Economic Forum telling us what to do. We don't need the World Health Organization to tell us what to do. We we don't need these politicians to tell us what to do. They work for us. You understand? Remember re- remember when Joe Biden was campaigning, or was he campaigning, or is he just visiting? I think he was just visiting. But he walked into with that union worker, and he's like, and that guy was asking him questions, and getting a little bit in his face, and he's like, "I don't work for you. The shit you don't, Joe Biden. You work for the American people, and we're tired of your shit, and you're fired. Come 2024, you're fired." Poor guy, don't even know where he's going. He's tripping over himself. He's stumbling. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where do you where do you want me? That's embarrassing. A leader of this nation have any kind be respect. They're showing America's weak. That's why we need a leader in there that has strong leadership and can pull this country back together and talk to the world leaders to say, "Hey, America's back. We're first. Shit's gonna change. It's not business as usual." So anyway, that's my political rant uh, for the week. I just want to tell you that I talked to Gil Faction of Single Brass Faction, and he's putting something together, and we're gonna podcast it. So look up Single Brass Faction. He's got songs like "This Train," um, "Criminal," "Angel on My Shoulder." He's got these awesome songs. So he's gonna be doing a show. We're gonna be doing advertising on Facebook, Twitter, and Rumble. We're gonna live. We're gonna do this live. If you want to check out Single Brass Faction, you can. Next week, I'm gonna have a special guest on, someone that I have not talked to in a couple of years, and she is a fireball. So she'll be on next week, next Saturday night, and I'm gonna have another special guest, Rick Phoenix. He's gonna be in. He's gonna be with me on the podcast, or he's gonna be on the podcast sometime in September. He's gonna let me know the dates. So if you are a band or artist of some sorts, musical artist of some sorts, and you're just starting out and you need some exposure, give Steve Mann a shout out, an email at steve.mann@project8podcast.com. Send me an email. Hit me up on Messenger on Facebook, or yeah, that you can do that. Or just say, "Hey, I heard your podcast. I wanna be on your show." Get a little exposure, you can do that. So, if you like the content, please, donate. Um, I took off the subscribe button, because I'm making every show, non oh, what's the word I'm looking non-exclusive. That way everybody gets to see it. Excuse me. I'm not gonna do any kind of special, uh, shows or extensions for, subscribers that give me money or anything like that. So that's why I switched it over to, um, the donate because I want I want you to get everybody to see it. Not just because you paying me, you're getting exclusive. I mean, I know how that works and whatnot, and I know a lot of people do it, but I just wanna get out there and make sure that everybody's able to see my content. So that's why I'm doing it. So, and if you wanna be a part of the show, with some kinda story you'd like to share with me and my audience, you can email me at steve.mann@project8podcast.com. And if you wanna check out our website, you go to www.project8podcast.com. So with that said, I see you all next week. I might jump in Friday night. I don't know yet, but I will post something if that does come if I decide to do a Friday night show and Saturday night. So stay tuned next Saturday night because I'm gonna have a special guest on. She is a firecracker and she tells you how like it is. So please tune in for that. So God bless you, America, and God bless every one of you. Good night.